My name is Nina McLemore of Nina McLemore Incorporated, and we make clothes for women who want to be taken seriously when they walk in the room. The first real risk I took was when I was 29 and moved to accept a job for May Department Stores International in international sourcing. So my job was to determine where in the world a department store company could and should be buying merchandise directly on import as opposed through an importer. It was a great experience. I've always said I've never had a job I was qualified for, and I certainly wasn't really qualified for that. I'd been to Europe once and Asia twice, but decided that it would be like getting my MBA in retailing. For 7 years it was a great job, but then I began to realize that the company did not see women as executive leaders and did not see women as presidents of stores, and that I was at least equally qualified to many of the men who were running the stores. So I was offered a job to turn around a very tiny accessories company that was a division of a very large multinational conglomerate, and went to them, came up with the idea very quickly of starting an accessories business for young working women. This is 1980. Women went from being 28% of the workforce to 50% of the workforce between 1975 and 1990. So it was a tremendous time when women were coming into the workforce, not just for jobs, but for careers. So it changed how they wanted to dress. Claiborne was the company that most understood that need for young working women. So I went to them and asked for the license, and we started Claiborne Accessories, which was a tremendous success, making accessories for that young working woman. By this time, I had decided that I had been really an entrepreneur within a corporation, and I realized that I had a creative side, both be it creative visually and creative business, and that I should own my own business, because the idea of Claiborne Accessories and creating all of accessories under one brand done by one company was very innovative and hadn't been done at that time. So I decided that I really wanted to have my own business. So at 50, I graduated, got my MBA. Then instead of starting an apparel company, I went into venture capital for about 7 years, loved it, learned what the major parameters were for investing in a company, and then met my now husband and decided to retire. But at that point began to have more time for my friends and listen to them complain about not being able to find clothes that they thought were appropriate. So in shopping with them, I realized that there had been significant changes, and that clothes were either now very young, very trendy, or they were very expensive and also trendy. So for the professional woman, there was very little choice. So came up with the idea of starting my own business at 50-something, and changed how we marketed it such that we now have 6 of our own stores. We primarily sell privately through women who are our representatives, and so we have about 100 women around the country who are in their own business selling our collection directly to the consumer, which allows us to get great consumer feedback and give better prices because we're going directly to the consumer. And we also sell to about 25 better specialty stores. I'm essentially a merchant and learned that fairly early on. And I think that being a merchant is a combination of some gene that will be discovered at some point in the future, as well as education. And so I call it an educated gut. And we as merchants are people who understand intuitively what other people want. And we can put our own taste and our own values aside and understand what is needed in the market and what other people want. But if you Study that, and if you really learn the numbers, this is a business where you have to be very good at the numbers and very good at the intuition. While I knew how to run a very profitable business, and I understood the P&L extremely well, we were the most profitable division at Claiborne with a 28% pre-tax. I knew I didn't understand the balance sheet and how you financed businesses. So if I wanted to own my own business, I really didn't understand how you went about putting the money together or how much money that you would really need for the business. And that's why I got my MBA at 50. So the advice I would give is you must make sure that you are very knowledgeable about your numbers, that you watch the financials all of the time, that you have an operating cash flow chart that works, spreadsheet that works, and that is a predictor 6 to 9 to 12 months out regarding how much cash flow you will need, that you understand what the drivers of the revenue, the drivers of the profitability, margins, and the drivers of your need for cash are, and you know how you will finance your business. Most businesses fail because they run out of money and because the entrepreneur was not watching and did not pay attention to the cash and the need for the strong financials.